there's there's something that's been on my mind lately, and I wanted to discuss it as summer starts to wind down here, and we're getting closer to fall. Um, and this channel garnered some interest due to the review we did of the cult of Bush and Stone Temple Pilots, who we saw in concert last night, and to the young ladies who were all dolled up from a stagette party. You know what? You ladies look great. Not gonna lie. But and that's true. We did think you were a lot younger than you were. Congratulations on that. And I wish to God people thought I was younger than I am. From behind, maybe when I'm wearing this out in public, people think, does he think he's 12? I get it. It's part of a character that I've become. You know, I remember when I got this jersey. I was about 2 years ago now that I got that one. And I found that one on Ice Jerseys and I was all excited. And it was at a time when nobody gave a shit about me. When I started talking to a webcam, it was grown out of a feeling of mortality. I don't know how long I have for this world. I don't know that I'm ever going to have anything to leave to children, grandchildren, whoever may come along. Nephews, nieces, whoever. And who knows where the future leads. So, I get a webcam and I start talking to it. And I do vlogs every day with no consideration for anybody watching them or anybody paying any attention. Every now and then a coworker would come up to me at work and say, hey, I saw your video last night. Hang in there. Or, hey, I saw your video last night. I'm going through the same crap you are. And that was nice. And every now and then a family of mine in Newfoundland, who a lot of those videos were for, would message me and say that it was nice to get to know me because I had lived in Newfoundland when I was 2 and 3 years of age. And then we moved to Regina, where I lived till we were almost 5. And then we moved out to BC. So there were people that I touched along the way as a young kid who never had a chance to see what I turned out to be as an adult. And I apologize wholeheartedly. Now, you fast forward a few years, and, well, you fast forward 4 years. I've been doing videos that have gone onto YouTube for over 4 years. And the first 2 years, there was nobody watching. And it didn't matter. I didn't care. I'd make a video, I'd upload it, and I'd go to bed. And when I would try going to bed without doing a video, I couldn't sleep. And I'd get up, and I'd be like, I have to get up for work in 6 hours, but I'll be damned if I can sleep right now because I needed to get some stuff off my chest. So I would get stuff off my chest so I could sleep. And that's what it was. We're in an age now where YouTube is kind of seen as this get rich quick thing. I have my lovely wife, and we have kids, and we have our humble, and it's a humble home. And the stress of it is constant, and it's funny because and I've talked about it before. Some of the bigger YouTubers, they'll go through that stress and they'll deal with that, and then viewers will say to them, "You're living the dream. So stop whining, you're living the dream." It's not the same when you're doing it as you think it's going to be before you do it. Because I thought that too. It's like, man, I'd love to get paid to sit on my ass and talk to a camera. I think sometimes the stress of, hey, you have to come up with something new today. Every single day for years, it gets to be kind of, you're having a crappy day, but you have to put on a smile and you have to convince people you're happy. And you have to watch your language. And even though you're really mad about these things going on in your life, you have to be not that person. So there are days where it's tougher than others. But it comes with what this is. This channel that I'm uploading this to, um, it's small, it's tiny in its scope and its reach, and I know there are a lot of kids who are anxious to get their own YouTube channel going, but where I think where I think they miss out sometimes, where I think the mistake is made, and I don't say anything to them because honestly, who am I to tell somebody else how to do it? But the only advice I'd give is stop caring about subscriber counts. Stop caring about your view counts. Sit down and say, what would I want to watch today? And if the answer you have is, I don't think I have anything that I want to watch today, it's not a day for videos. I had plenty of days early on where outside of doing vlogs, yeah, I didn't have anything to say. I didn't talk about hockey until 2015 at the earliest, and I didn't talk hockey regularly until 2016. This is 2018, and I started doing videos in 2014. You know, and my videos were long and rambling, and I didn't know how to get to the point. And even when I started out with hockey videos, I didn't know how to get to the point. But it didn't matter. I've never changed how I approach this. I still make videos every day on topics that I'd want to see, something I want to hear about, something that is different, and I don't pay any attention to what anybody else is doing. And subscriber counts and view counts I pay attention to because I have to. But in the beginning, it's fun. I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't understand why. And I would say it in videos. I'd say, I don't understand why people are watching me. I'm just talking about hockey the way I always have my whole life. Nobody listened to me before, other than, some select coworkers. And whether it was me talking to Pete or me talking to Don or... Yeah, my last job, that was it. Yeah, advantage, it was Pete and Don, basically. I guess Colin. Uh, yeah. And then the rest of the day, I'd think, boy, I sure hope somebody comes around here to talk to about hockey. But most of the people I worked with were people who didn't watch hockey regularly or weren't really fans. And, if I talked about something I saw in a hockey game, their eyes would kind of glass over. So I'd go home and eventually what that turned into is I'd go home and do a video. Or be like, this is the hockey stuff I was talking about today at work, or wanted to talk about and I couldn't because I had nobody to talk to. So for anybody who's an aspiring YouTuber, don't care about view counts. Not at the start. Subscriber counts, all that other stuff. The obsession with that growth is very discouraging when it's not there. It's very discouraging when you see things dropping, and I had that in the beginning. In the beginning, there were days I would look and I go, well, nobody watched my videos today, and I lost a few subscribers. And this was on the hockey channel, where I'd be like, man, I lost people. What happened? And I'd try to figure out what was going on and why, and then I thought, no, don't worry about it. And I didn't worry about it for the most part, because the other part of doing this is if you reach a wide audience, you're going to reach people that really don't like your stuff. They really don't want to hear what you have to say. They really don't care. Or their attitude's going to be one of two things. Either I can say that better, or he doesn't know what he's talking about. Or in my case, people who say, well, if he had a green screen and if he had highlights in his videos, and if he put in all this and all that, and it's like, but I got there by not doing those things, and if I'm already stressed about certain things that are going on, and then I add those other extra stresses, I mean, sure, if I ever had a huge channel, I could employ somebody to do video editing. That would be fine. But the funny thing is, I would probably employ somebody that I know in real life, somebody local, somebody I'm friends with. I'd say, hey, I'll pay you X amount of money. I'll send you videos and you go ahead and edit them. And then they can do that. But, on just on a personal level, I don't when I post videos, for instance, on here, I don't think, oh, this is going to get this many hits, and this much view, and this much. Because I do stuff on here for fun. Sort of like when I do my podcasts, they're for fun. I don't make a cent on podcasts, they're just for fun. So, again, if I have any advice, it would be just to do it just for fun. Don't obsess on it. And the same advice um, that I provided to my son when he talked about entertainment and different things and this and that. I always said treat that as a hobby. If you think you're going to be a musician, a singer, a star on some level on something, or social media darling celebrity, okay, that could happen, but just treat it like it's a hobby and just go with it that way. Because when people are I've got this brand and I've got this logo and I've got all this and I've got, all right, I've built everything, here we go. It often doesn't work out that way. And I did not start out that way. And I still don't do it that way. Because it's just, to this day when people walk up to me and talk to me and they recognize me on the street, I'm like, oh, okay. All right then. It's strange, and it's humbling, and it's, I take all of it seriously when I'm hearing from people that they watch videos that I've made with their families, and when I see emails from people, and sometimes I don't have time to answer everything, and sometimes between Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and all these other accounts that I have going on, there's so much coming in, and then there's emails coming in too, that I may miss stuff, but I see it, and even though I may not get to that response, I see it, and it is humbling to see all these people messaging me about all this stuff. And at no point do I look at that and go, yes, this is awesome. This means that, I have X amount of reach and all of that. So just do what you love, and just do it because you want to do it. Not for fame and fortune and I'm going to be the next big star of whatever that channel is about. Just do it for fun. Do what's fun. And not because of the idea that, and I know this happens, and it happens in every generation, right? And I know the big one when I graduated was pyramid schemes. Pyramid schemes were big because the idea was that if you get enough of your friends working for you, under you, and there were various companies, including Amway, that you could, okay, now I'm going to sell you this stuff, and then you sell it, and then when you sell it, you make money for me. But don't worry, because you can get your friends working for you too, and then you don't have to work as hard, and you'll still make money, and you'll make good money. And then when they get people working under them, the idea being, of course, that it is unsustainable and it doesn't work. And there's somewhat of a pyramid scheme to some of the social media stuff I see, and it's because of this. If you have everybody creating brand new content on similar subjects, and on, for instance, anytime anybody says to me, I'm going to start a gaming channel, my answer is don't. Just don't. There's so many. And if you're going to start it, don't start it because you think it's going to be this big hit and you're the next big gamer. Do it because it's fun and you just want to share your experience with other people. There's one channel that I subscribe to that she's got a few hundred subscribers, and she gets maybe 40, 50 views anytime she does a gaming video where she broadcasts or live streams herself playing video games. And she's entertaining. She's a good kid. But, the reach isn't there, and she seems to be okay with that. And I started following her when all of the demonetization of the smaller channels hit. Because, that to me didn't feel particularly right with the way that it was handled. I understood why it happened. I still understand why it happened. But the way that it was handled I thought was kind of clunky. Because when you have a big media corporation, that can happen. Absolutely. I've met and worked with a couple of them, and it can be really clunky because sometimes they don't know how to talk to the public. They lose that access. So, yeah, there you go. If you do it because you love it and it's fun, awesome. But if it's with the idea of I'm going to hit this amount of subscribers, I'm going to make this amount of views, and then I'm going to make this amount of money, and then I'm going to be rich, and I'm never going to have to work that 9 to 5 job. It's there are months, and I started doing YouTube full time in April. There are months where I look at want ads and I think, do I need to do some work 3 or 4 days a week to supplement things and to pick things up. And that's even with the fact that I've got almost 60,000 subscribers on my main channel and almost 4,000 on this one. And I'm still not in a position where I'm comfortable. I'm in a position where I get scared very often. I could have a really good month followed by an awful month. And view counts don't matter. It's not the view counts. View counts are roughly the same from month to month, but the rate at which you get paid can vary incredibly widely. And I'm genuinely scared probably half of the months that I have. And it's a good thing that I can save money, and I can know when to stop spending money and take care of things. But there are some YouTubers, I'm talking about the really big ones, that I think they're spending way too much, just from what I see of where they live and what they drive, and just the way that they live. And I look at their view counts and their subscriber counts. I'm thinking that's not sustainable. If your channel goes through this dive of some sort, or you have some sort of an issue with YouTube revenue, you do not have a sustainable lifestyle. You're hosed. So and unfortunately, it gives this impression to a lot of the younger viewers that this is a way to get really exorbitant amounts of money and live like a king. And I guess maybe when you're Jake or Logan Paul, I guess maybe when you're KSI, I guess you can do that. But for 99% of the people who have channels, it doesn't work that way. And I don't. The other part of this is that even though my channel saw a lot of growth over the last year, and I've been able to do it as employment, I don't foresee a point where I'll be able to afford a really nice car, really nice house. I don't see that ever happening. I honestly don't. I think that my bills will get paid. I'll be able to buy myself things like people ask, oh, jerseys. You spend money on jerseys. I don't buy anything else. I'm very fortunate that before I had the channel, I had an exorbitant amount of clothes already. I don't throw anything away. I kind of pack rat when it comes to clothes. To me, if it still fits, it's still good. I don't care how old it is. And that comes in handy with certain kinds of clothing and not so handy with others. But it's part of how I'm able to do what I'm able to do. And I don't really buy anything else when I probably should. And I cheap out a lot of places in a lot of ways. I'm pretty cheap. But everybody has their own way. And I've seen over the summer a lot of new channels starting up, a ton. And the other side of it is that I don't allow advertising on my channels for other channels, because I never used other channels and left links somewhere else going, hey, go watch my stuff. Because it feels like if you go into it, let's say you go into a Save on Foods and there's somebody there from Safeway going, can you go to Safeway? It just seems weird. And it doesn't feel, yeah, it doesn't, I don't like it. And when I ran forums in the early 2000s, I never allowed advertising either. So it's kind of a rule that I've had for a decade and a half, and I just maintain it until now. And I've found, and I knew this with forums too, that if I allowed one person to advertise, everybody had to advertise. So it became a nightmare. And much like what YouTube is now, it was the same thing back then, which everybody was creating a forum. I've noticed lately too that everybody creates their own Discord. It's strange. I wouldn't even have a Discord if it wasn't for my friend Austin helping me set mine up, and I don't even know why I had one. I even said to him, I said, I don't know why I have a Discord. And he's like, you'll need it once your channel gets bigger. And I'm like, I don't, what is this? What does it do? So you know, I'm still learning. I still have a lot to learn, and there you go. So hopefully, for anybody who's thinking about starting one up, hopefully I said something in and amongst all this ramble to help you out with just the mentality and the mindset. Because the mindset, if I'd gone into what I'm doing now back in 2014 when I first got a webcam and set it up with the idea of I'm going to put videos on YouTube and I'm going to be known, wouldn't have got anywhere. I only went into it with the idea of, you know, I could pass away in a month, a year, 2 years. We don't know what's going to happen. It would be nice if there were videos online which showed my good parts, my faults, my sense of humor, my anger, everything about me in videos, the good and the ugly, and that people who have never had a chance to meet me because they came along after I passed away had a chance to watch those videos and go, so that's who he was. Kind of a prick, but funny. And that's all I really aimed for at that point. That was it. So there you go. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I appreciate everybody from the hockey channel who's come over and subscribed over here, and for people who've got these videos I've been posting over the last couple weeks in a decent range, and for anybody who signed up for the eFed thing that I posted about a week ago, that is going to happen soon. So don't worry about it if you signed up. Awesome. I'm well aware, and we're going to get that running soon. It's just a matter of figuring out the schedule so that I don't burn myself out completely. That's the trick. And it's another piece of information I would tell people. It's really easy to get burned out doing this. So be careful. Thanks again for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.